What is up, guys? This is your boy, Big Chili, here. Just want to go ahead and provide a bit of an update on the snake situation happening here in the Santilli abode. Bunch of you guys have been asking me about this, so I figured I'd go ahead, show you guys what's going on. So first of all, let me just show you how I have the actual snake tank layout going on. I like to keep it a little simple. Don't like to go too far on out and do crazy stuff. So here I'm going to show you Korallus's tank, Ether's tank, and then Forge's tank, but they all have the same sort of setup. So this right here, this is Korallus's tank. He has his hideout. He's got his branch for when he needs to scrape and get anything going on with shedding. And then he's got a small water bowl. I like to use aspen bedding. That is a pretty good way to go. It's a clean look. Never really have any problems with that. Now with regard to the actual sizing of this tank, for Korallus, this is about 12.5 inches in height and what I believe to be 30 inches in width. Don't have the depth there for you, but at least that gives you a sense of that one. And then over here I have Ether's tank. He's actually the smallest of my reptiles here. So he also has his small little water bowl, branch, hideout. And for Ether's tank, his is 10 inches in height and about 24 inches in width. So let's go see Forge's tank. Usually, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get you a good shot of the actual tank once I have him in there, because at least with Forge, she is very, very difficult to put back in because she likes to try and get out here. But this is Forge's tank right here. Got a much larger hideout, another branch, water bowl. I believe hers was somewhere like 17 inches in height and 36 in width. Much bigger tank. I do have to have two sea tables holding her up that I've put together. But I imagine what you guys really want to see are the actual snakes themselves. So let me go ahead, let's pull them out. I'm going to be going ahead and showing you guys the smallest of my guys. This is Ether. He was the third snake I've gotten here. I'm gonna put the phone down. I have a shitty inability to actually flip the camera while I'm recording. Now when I cleaned their tanks, that's what I actually went ahead and did today. I cleaned their tanks. Now when I clean their tanks, at least for the smaller guys, it's just perfectly fine to put them in a pillow sack. There's no need to actually go ahead and do anything extravagant. They tend to stick around in there without any issue until I just pull them back out. Now Forge is a different story. She has gotten to a size where I've needed to go ahead and get her an actual container while I'm cleaning her tank out. That was more recently. So this is the smallest of my collection. He recently went through a shed that didn't go all too well, so I'm actually going to have to help him through it a little more. But this is Ether. Very this guy has quite a personality in of himself. They all do, actually. For all individuals that think that snakes don't have their own little I guess you could say characteristics, they definitely do. You just get to learn them as you spend more time observing them and seeing what they're all about here. So this is Ether. He is a crystal morph, as what they call it. He has more of a cream color. The lighting in my room isn't all too good. Hopefully you can see a bit of that up close. Not sure how to get you some good lighting to see that. Really cool patterning. He has blue eyes, which I'm not sure I'll be able to get for you guys to see up close again. He is one of the more active of my collection. Now he is a ball python. I will say that he is his big thing is he's very picky about his food, but he also likes to eat a lot. More often than not, even after I've given him a good bit of food, he will always be on the lookout for me. When I come into the room, he's always peeking out of his hideout to see what's going on. Very calm guy. There's this misconception that, you know, ball pythons are very aggressive or, you know, scary to deal with. These guys aren't. More often than not, they'll be scared of you and your size, and ball up in fear whenever they are afraid of things, hence the name ball python. So this is Ether. I've had him for maybe about 4 years, 3 years I'd say, and he was about 4 months when I got him. So yeah, still going strong. Very funny individual to have around. He actually escaped from the pillowcase a couple of times after I had put him in there to clean his tank, and I actually went and found him, you know, just roaming around. But luckily, no issues with him. Just a very curious individual. So I'm going to go ahead and place him in his tank. Come on, buddy. Let's go. All right. And you are clear for landing. There you go, buddy. Now, again, this is the smallest of my tanks. Let me go ahead and try to slot this in. The interesting thing is this actually used to be Forge's tank when I first got her. She was pretty fit for this size of a tank when I first got her, so that'll give you an idea of what she was about 5 to 6 years ago, because that's when I first got her. Now this is Korallus' tank. Again, that's Ether's. But let's go ahead and we'll pull out what's behind pillowcase number 2, which is Korallus. Now Korallus was the first snake I ever got. I was very fascinated with the piebald morph, which is what he is. And he actually is the calmest of all of my snakes. Never really have any issues with this guy. Beautiful patterning, really chill dude. So let's pull him out here. Him I've had for about, I'd have to say probably 7 to 8 years. And here he is, much bigger in size. But this right here is Korallus. Again, I just love the piebald morph. Really, with piebalds, you're never going to get a consistent patterning. It's always going to be a random amount of white with a random amount of browns and blacks. When I first got him, he was a little smaller than Ether over there. But this guy I never have any issues with. He always eats just fine. He's always calm in his tank. So very, very easy going. Again, not scary, nothing to be worried about. I love seeing ball pythons and all the different morphs, and honestly, when you go to a show like Repticon to see all the variations they have, it's like, it's just mind-blowing. You would see patterns and colorings that you wouldn't expect to see with ball pythons, and those vendors really do a lot with genetics to mix and match and see what they got. And whenever you get something on the market that's new gene-wise, like a new mix, typically they can sell for a very high price. I mean, when a piebald first came out, I think they were around $25,000 for the first of its kind in terms of being sold. So again, here is Korallus, very friendly dude, really healthy. I'm gonna go ahead and put him into the tank, and here we go. All right, buddy, time to put you where you belong. Alrighty then. Korallus, I used to have a different kind of tank for him, and he actually did get away from me a couple of times. Well, I wouldn't say get away, he just broke free of the tank. But he is more a curious individual, so I would find him just hanging out on top of the enclosure, just trying to see what's going on. So that is Korallus. Now for the next individual in my collection, I only have 3. She is a lot more feisty, and so I'm going to try. I'm actually not going to show you putting her in the tank, only because she is a very difficult individual to deal with once I pull her out. But for her, I did have to do something a little different in terms of pulling her out and kind of keeping her in a safe place while I clean the tanks. So Forge is actually in here. That's her name, and she is what they believe to be a jungle / red stripe boa mix. So she is different from the other 2 pythons. She is a boa.